once told the Syracuse Herald-Journal, and this was a while ago, that the modern black athletes are the most embarrassing collection of individuals I've ever known. What drove you to make that statement?
The buffoonery, the things we fought to get away, the stereotypical gestures, the rolling of the eyes and the dancing and all of the Walt Disney stereotypical racial disgraces. You wonder how these individuals can be so stupid not to understand how the general public is looking at them. So, yeah, I said that many times, and I say that to them. I don't think that is cute. And I don't think that the majority of the fans in the stands think it's cute. I think it's like chasing the shadow of the rabbit instead of chasing the rabbit. Entertainment was always used in slave quarters. In fact, they used to take fighters and blindfold them, put everybody in the ring, and let you fight until the last guy was standing. And they'd be sitting around the ring in tuxedos with their women and jewelry, and that was the entertainment, boss. So if you study history, you don't want to emulate the things that were degrading and humiliating. Humiliation was unreal, but now guys are voluntarily playing the yes, a boss slave. So, yeah, that's embarrassing to me. To think that in this day and age, these young men would be out there shaking their butts and not knowing much of anything else, not understanding the dignity of a man and how to play a game and play it hard and let that speak for yourself. There's no debate in this conversation. Anybody that takes the other side has got to be an enemy. Any man that would teach his son that that's the thing to do should be arrested. Education, family, character, intelligence, humility. Okay? These are the things that make a culture live. The Jewish culture has a wonderful thing about education. It has a great thing about family. It has a great thing about unity, hard work, dedication. So I would like to say the African American community should emulate that. Let's refocus.
When did you realize you should use your fame to bring about change and raise awareness?
It's not like, power is not like fame. The human spirit is power. So I had that when I was born. I never felt like a second-class citizen. When I was 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, discrimination, racism was terrible. And I had no desire to engage it in a positive way in any way. So that was a determination. It wasn't like when I was born realizing that men should be treated the same way. My attitude was always that I was a citizen, American citizen. I paid my damn taxes, and I wanted my damn rights.
Welcome to a brand new podcast, and this is the Oracle 19, and my name is Greatness. That was a clip an interview. That was the late, great Jim Brown, R.I.P. to, in my opinion, the greatest running back of all times. I'm a football fan and a historian about football to a certain degree anyway. And definitely Mr. Brown, in my opinion, is the greatest running back of all time, and even debatable, one of the greatest football players of all times. I'll put him in the same category from like Jim Brown, Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice, that caliber. But he was not only, in my opinion, a great man that I looked up to. Actor, an activist, done a lot for the black community and on a grassroots level, and helped out a lot of people all throughout. And again, before I get to the business aspect of things, you know, this is basically going to be dedicated to Jim Brown. And today's topic, we're going to talk about being a legend. Being a legend. Being a legend. But before we get to that, and continue the business at hand. Now the Oracle 19, if any business inquiries, if you want to put your brand, business on this platform, you can email us at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. And that's the same email if you want to make a free will offering to our PayPal account as we grow worldwide, continuing to grow worldwide, I should say. evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. And you can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is www.evolutionoflondon.com. We have a whole wide range of products from men's, kids, ladies' clothes, cologne, perfume, jewelry, house products, and much, much more. So that's evolutionoflondon.com. Excuse me. And also you can check out evolutionoflondon.org. There we have custom clothes, accessories, digital products from personal as well as business use. And finally, evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-R-E. There you'll find lotions, soaps, DVDs, and more clothing. So that's evolutionoflondon.store. We have different links to other affiliates, www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. So definitely check that out. And also we do have a Patreon channel in which we have videos that's not posted on YouTube. That's patreon.com/evolutionoflondon. You'll find artwork and consulting services as well. Check us out at Rumble, www.rumble.com/the Oracle 19. So once you go to www.rumble.com, that's RUMBLE.com, and then you type in the Oracle 19, you see other shows there as well. So definitely support that. Music. Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. He have a whole wide range of different beats. So once you go to his YouTube channel, definitely like, subscribe, and share to the Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And you will see his other social media sites, so definitely support his brand. And continue to train on YouTube, the Greatness 19 channel. That's our educational channel to open up your third eye. Over 520, I think right now 520 videos and counting. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to the Greatness 19 channel. and definitely pass the information worldwide. Definitely the hidden gem of knowledge. And we do have finally Mr. Evolution of London. That's our health and wellness channel. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to Mr. Evolution of London. And that's on YouTube as well. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. So if you want to book a consultation, email him at healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. That's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And also support his merchandise, www.wjaaccessories.org. There you'll find custom clothes, accessories, and digital products as well, business as well as personal. So definitely support his brand. DJ Panthro is an international DJ, one of the best DJs in southwestern Ontario. So I definitely need your guys to support his brand as he expanding. And if you want to book for him to come to your venue, you can email him at djpanthro519@gmail.com. Again, that's DJ Panthro, PANTHRO 519@gmail.com. And you will find him on social media. You can find him on TikTok, DJ Panthro 519, as well as Instagram, and finally YouTube as he expanded his page. Check out, like, subscribe, and share to DJ Panthro 519 on YouTube. Check out Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles. So definitely I need your guys to support that brand. Royalty 9 International have scented as well as unscented candles, 12-ounce jars, 100% soy wax. Now, as far as the scented candles, frankincense, myrrh, eucalyptus, peppermint, rose, jasmine, just to name a few. So if you want to place an order, you can email them at royalty9international@gmail.com, or you can check out their website, www.royalty9international.com. And again, their social media, you can check them out on TikTok and Instagram as well. Finn City Fish and Chips, located at 711 Richmond Street, downtown London, Ontario. Their telephone number is 519-672-9950, and you can email them at fincitylondon@gmail.com. Again, that's fincitylondon@gmail.com. And you can check out their website, www.fincityfishandchips.ca. Again, they're on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I definitely, as I always mention about their fish and chips, I love it. It is amazing. Definitely you need to check that out. But they have plenty of dishes. Again, check them out at their website, www.fincityfishandchips.ca. And they deliver Uber Eats, Skip, DoorDash, just to name a few. So definitely check Finn City Fish and Chips. Now, Mr. Paul Anthony, just in case you don't know, but you will know, check him out on all social media platforms. Paul Anthony, legendary Grammy award-winning Paul Anthony, from the group Full Force, the R&B and hip-hop group Full Force. An actor known for the movie House Party 1, House Party 2, Crush Groove, Coach Carter, Martin, just to name a few. Mr. Anthony is a producer, songwriter, vocalist, who worked with entertainers, as I mentioned before, but if you knew, I will mention these entertainers that he worked with. Lisa, Colt Jam. James Brown, I think you know him. Black Eyed Peas, Bob Dylan, Justin Timberlake. Rihanna, Selena, Nicki Minaj, Patti LaBelle, just to name a few. And him and his family formed the Full Force. And if you want to book for him to come to your venue worldwide, you can email him paulfullforce1@gmail.com. That's paulfullforce1@gmail.com. And again, social media, just type in the legendary Paul Anthony and seek, and you shall find. Now, the Oracle 19 podcast is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Anchor.fm. Now is Spotify for podcasters. Spotify, Google, Apple, Amazon Music, just to name a few. So any information I haven't mentioned, you can check us out in the description box of rumble.com/the Oracle 19. You can also check us out in the description box of the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London. Those channels on YouTube. You can check that in the description box there. And finally, www.oracle19radio.com. All right, well, now we got the business part of things out the way. Hopefully I covered everything. And continuing the topic, as I mentioned, being a legend. And again, RIP to Mr. Jim Brown. And, this is something for what men should strive to be. Not necessarily a football player or actor or whatever. Within your circumference is being a better you. Being able to contribute. Making an impact in society. One way or another. Now, again, touching back with the great Jim Brown. As I mentioned, I'm a fan of his, and beyond football, I look at him as a great man. I look up to men like him. A man's man, a stand-up guy. And being that he reminds me of my dad. Right, wrong, up and down, we all make mistakes, and I'm making this a general statement. Just a man's man, a throwback that you don't really see in today's life. Very few men. In the 60s and 70s, and even before the 60s, you had more of abundance men that were stand-up guys. Man's man. As you might heard that terminology before. And being that he passed away, that really touches me. That's like a part of me that just gone. And you might not really be able to understand what I'm talking about. A few of you individuals would understand. Because I look at it because, again, those men, it's just not in abundance in this day and time. And I try to, me personally, duplicate to the best of my ability of those type of men, stand-up guys as I'm getting older. And trying to strive to be the best I can be. And again, like I mentioned, reminds me of my dad. Stand-up guy, he say what he say, he means what he say, and he's not going to take no nonsense from people. Real stand-up men. And it's a dying art in this day and time. And being that, Jim Brown has passed. My father passed away, years back. And then men in the neighborhood that I grew up with, or grew up and seen as a young man. Men in the neighborhood. Shout out to, again, the overall character. Men that I grew up with, or seen, gentlemen, Mr. Hunt, Mr. Fox, Mr. Franco, Mr. Winslow, Hollywood, Mr. Hayes, can't forget him. And again, and it was quite a few men that I haven't mentioned, but a lot of stand-up men that I grew up seeing. Again, nobody's perfect, but these men was stand-up guys, and I missed them collectively, because just like Jim Brown, they was the strength of the community, especially I'll say the black community. But that's a dying art. And this is what men in this day and time, I feel, need to strive. There's still stand-up guys, I would say now, even this day and time. But you want to leave a mark, some type of mark in this society in a positive way, where it could be passed on to men throughout the test of time. And that's very important. Very important. You just don't want to be on this planet Earth as men and not leave a mark in society. And it don't have to be something big where the world necessarily sees. It just may be something sufficient enough where it could be passed on to the offspring. It could be knowledge. It could be books that you leave. It don't have to be necessarily money, which everyone is focusing on money, but it could be just knowledge, wisdom, understandings. Minute things, but very powerful. Something that you passed on to groups of men to be better men. Actually, even women, it could be passed, the information could be passed to your loved ones. Something, or within your community. Something that you leave a mark in society. And men like Jim Brown have left a mark. Even Malcolm X. Hate him, like him, but you have to admit, he did leave a mark. And he left a mark for his people. My people. And again, that's not for everybody to relate, all races to relate. But I can switch over and say within your race, or people in your community, men in the communities, individuals that left a mark within your society. And I think men should leave some type of positive mark, but not everybody is equipped to be able to leave a positive mark. That's why the topic is basically being a legend. Not every man is capable of this great feat. It's only built for the few, not for the many. That's what makes it so unique. That's what makes a man great. Only a few men could be great. Not every man could be great. People strive for greatness. People might think they're great, but not necessarily great. But again, is leaving a mark. Doing things that other men cannot reach. That's what makes you great. It could be the knowledge that you have. It could be the skills, whether it's athletic or skill set within the community. You might be able to be a great speaker. Signs of greatness. And I talk about that on the previous show. So that's how legends are made. Leaving a legacy so great that only a few can reach. And that's piggybacking with Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali. These men reach a level of greatness beyond even their sport. When you start impacting hundreds, millions of people all over the land, all over the world, that's greatness. And then when you pass on, you're a legend. And some people is on such a high level, they're a living legend. Like the great Michael Jordan. As a basketball player, one of the greatest basketball players, if not, well, in my personal opinion, the greatest basketball player of all times. Now, I know a lot of people will say Wilt, and Wilt Chamberlain definitely was one of the greatest as well. To say Bill Russell, but I still will say Wilt Chamberlain. See, Bill Russell played on the team, and yes, he had more rings and so forth, but individual skill set, I think Wilt Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. Bill Russell was a defensive center, and he could score, but Wilt Chamberlain was the complete package. There's nobody on this planet Earth, in the NBA rather, that had March 2nd, I believe, in the, 1960 something? I believe you could Google that. 100 points, 55 rebounds. If I'm correct, if I'm incorrect, let me know. Email me. That one night, who's better in the NBA, and per se? That's why you can make a debate with Wilt or Jordan, but I just think, and then I just seen more of Jordan versus seeing more of Wilt. That's why I give the edge to Jordan. But hey, these is great players, legends, abilities that the average basketball player cannot achieve. And you can go on with other players like LeBron James and Kobe, so forth, so on. Great players, respectfully. legends and living legends. You can, you understand where I'm coming from. And then you have men in politics that left a mark. So I could go on and on, but this is what we as men in this day and time need to strive for. Again, not being athletic, not playing sports, but being great and leaving a mark in your own circumference, in your own community, in your own setting. But again, it's only built for the few, not for the many. It gotta be in you. And again, not everyone could be great. But you can still strive to be the best you can be within your circumference. And this is an example of what men need to do. Because you have so many in this society we live in, men is programmed to be weak, soft, cuddly. And when you see greatness pass on, and I speak of myself, this is like a part of me that dies. I felt that way, and I feel it more, again, with my father. He used to tell me that sometimes you, as a young man, don't really see a lot and understand a lot of things. You have to, once you start hitting 35, 40, and beyond, you start now seeing certain things in life that you didn't see and understand as a teenager or a child. And I didn't understand it all in completion, but I understand it now. And that powerful nugget that he gave me, I totally overlooked for many years, and I understand it now in terms of how to be a man and standing on your square. Right or wrong, up and down, this is what it is. And being great comes with a lot of sacrifice. Again, a lot of these men that I mentioned, and talking about the great Jim Brown, when he played football, it's a sacrifice. He can't not necessarily be around his family, communicate, because he had to put his energies into football to be the great player, the great running back of all times that that he had to do. He had to do what he had to do. So it took a lot of time and effort to be the great player. That's what I meant to say. So there's sacrifices and sometimes casualties of war where family, friends, and foe, to be great, people won't really see you that much. A lot of times when you strive for greatness, it's a personal journey and a lonely journey. And again, you miss out on a lot of different things in your personal life because you're striving for greatness. And a lot of people might not want to be around you because your attention is on becoming a better person or a better player, or you striving for a particular goal, and that comes with the package. And you can now, and I don't even equate that with sports necessarily. You can equate that with, let's say, if you a doctor or a lawyer, you're putting in a lot of time, striving to make money and be great in your profession. And if you have a family, that will impact or can impact them, and you know the rest. Just using that as examples in terms of striving for greatness or being a better you, whatever the case. But you understand where I'm coming from, hopefully. It's a lonely journey. But this is how legends are made. Now, back to what I was mentioning a little bit earlier. When again, these men that have impacted communities and society, and for me, seeing them pass on, it takes a little bit out of me. And as I mentioned, my father, guys like Jim Brown, other men too, I just don't want to mention because that might be a little controversial. But other men that I have looked up to and they passed on, same thing. It's a little piece that I've taken away from me. Now, when you reach a stage and you considered a man of wisdom or an elder or whatever the case may be, no longer you can lean on these legends and talk to them and reach out to them, because slowly but surely they passing on, and now you become the elder, and you on that lonely throne, which people will judge you and look at you and ask you questions. This is part of the sands of life. And again, it gets lonely because as these elders pass on, these great men, me as an individual, and I use myself as an example, cannot reach out and ask them questions because now they passing away or have passed away. I don't know if you get what I mean. You know, it's like a father figure. Maybe I put it in simplest terms. You know, if your father is around, you can always give him a call and ask him certain questions because he have the wisdom, or you can admire him because of his greatness. But when they're gone, they pass on, you have a deeper appreciation because you think back of their achievements. But now you can't talk to them anymore because they're gone. There was a guy that a classmate of mine in high school told me something a long time ago. And he mentioned this in terms of, he just said family life. He always said, you know, always communicate with your father, you know, right or wrong, up and down. Because, and he even said this about even your mother, but he said, because once they gone, they gone. No more calling. There's no direct phone lines in heaven. So once they're gone, that's it. And I thought about it, didn't really take it in, but really, I took it in, if you say a scale of between 1 and 100, I took it in about 75%. But when it hit me, when my father passed, I'm like, and then when I see certain things and certain events and certain things he have mentioned, and then I see men like Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali and other great men pass, then it hits me more. And it hurts more. because you're like, these great men is gone. And I'm here. Now what? You know, you appreciate them while they living, but when they're gone, it's like, yeah, of course you can move on. I know I'm babbling a little bit. Hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. This right here is more of a personal show, so this is why I'm rambling on and in and out, talking about a little bit of how I feel and so forth, so on, because, again, you have to appreciate things, especially you men. Standing on your square, being strong-minded, right or wrong, up and down. You strive to be correct in everything you do, but this is a world that we live in now that is trying to take away your manhood. The powers in higher places. And they're showing it every day, from commercials to your everyday life, the job, school, your woman, your children. Everybody's trying to dumb down the man, making him weak, making him not know his gender. He don't know who he is. He have no leadership skills. He can't run a household. He can't run himself. He's confused. He cries all the time. So this is why I appreciate men like Jim Brown. Again, all men have their moments of weakness. It's not even up for debate. But you still have to be strong within this society. So, men, you definitely have work to do. We all do. I do as well. I'm always striving. People, women, other weak men, it's not necessarily, they don't want a strong man. They say they do, but they don't. This is why you have other genders. You have man, woman, and then the its, I call it. The its I classify as binary, non-binary, the alphabet city boys, all of that. You could put it in a big pot. But you have that agenda, those agendas are being pushed to a high level. Real men out here, stand-up men out here, is being rated as bad men, toxic men, men that needs to be taken off of the face of earth. Society likes when men like the great Jim Brown is gone. One less headache in their minds. As long as he's living, he can still influence men to how to be men. If you listen to the intro, he's telling you. And real men of character and strength is not wanted in today's society. And I mentioned this on several shows, men versus males. So many shows I talk about what men need to do. Have an abundance mindset, because again, so many men is so weak-minded And they just accept anything and everything from their woman and what the woman don't offer them. It's just so much they take. And you really have to stop. We all been, well, not everyone, but I say a great deal of people been simps. I'm one of them. An ex-simp. Sucker. Whatever word you want to call it. Allowed so many ungodly things, unnecessary things, disrespectful things from women. And you pay the price. Where these men won't tolerate that. Men I mentioned before, my dad, the great Jim Brown, for what I seen from the outside looking in. Not to say they mean men, but they stand on their square. Now, as they get older, I can't co-sign. I don't know. But from the outside looking in, they breathe strength, being masculine, being what a real man should be. My personal opinion. Right, wrong, up and down. Everyone makes mistakes. I get it. Nobody's perfect. I get it. But this is what men need to be. Again, I'm mentioning this over and over because I really is a teachable moment. In my opinion, I think young men need to find and seek out men of strength. And we're not talking about being dominant over your woman. So a lot of women don't. This is not about you being dominant, being dominated. That's the first thing women will say, and other people in society. Or what you mean, Mr. Greatness, is men here dominating your woman and telling her to shut up. You know, they will go off on a tangent with this conversation. This is not about women. This is just. I talk about it in a small, minute detail, but this is not about women in this conversation, in this show. Women sure can listen to this, absolutely, pass it along, no problem, but this is not about women in this show. This is about men having leadership, educating themselves, taking care of their bodies, taking care of their mental, being surrounded by good men, upstanding men, men of loyalty and respect. And it's few of us. Few to none is a small percentage. But you have to reach out, men, young men, and find and listen to these men of strength, men of wisdom. They sprinkle throughout the world. Your job is to seek. Because again, seek and you shall find. Again, I'm trying to leave a mark within my little circumference here. 10, 20 years from today, 30, 40, 50 years today, when I'm dead and gone, you listen to my chronicles here, how I transform and upgraded and develop as a man on my journey. Again, I've been through the sands of life. I've done many wrongs, hurt many people. Not, it's not something I'm sad by it, but there's nothing I can do. You're not perfect. But we all, been through life, did a lot of ungodly things, but how are you going to be a better you? That's the question. And this is what makes a man great, or can make him great. Pick up the pieces and work, strive, read, apply things to your daily life. Work harder, strive harder, build harder to make you a living legend or leaving something in the past. And 40, 50 years from now, when people listen to all of these shows, I would like for people to, I would hope people will, majority anyway, will give me my flowers. But of course you're going to have some that say, good, I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's gone. Hey, it's okay. Not everybody is going to like you. But respect is everything. So, whatever it is, you want to leave a mark for yourself first, and people will see your works. And it's very important for men to really work on that, because they're not teaching that in schools, how to be a man. And on a side note, how to be a woman. Something that should be taught in schools. Elementary school, junior high school, college. They really should have classes how to be a man, how to be a woman. Oh no, they don't. We know. We taught how to be a trans gentleman, a trans woman. We taught that those flags should be waved in the schools. We taught that we should celebrate them at the parades. We are taught that you could be a man on a Monday, a woman on a Tuesday, it on a Wednesday, figuring things out on the Thursday, Friday, you think about it, Saturday is a possibility, and Sunday you rest and go to church and say, I am saved. That's what you taught. A man is taught to be weaker than his woman. A man is taught to be under his woman. A man is taught that his woman is smarter than him. A man is taught that he don't have to strive to be a better him. He can just get by. And if he's going through a hard time, take a pill. He's diagnosed as having mental illness. If he strives for greatness, he gets a pill in the morning. He's taught to get a pill in the afternoon. He's taught to get a pill at night. He's always diagnosed with some type of ailment. More pills. He's taught to be heavily medicated with marijuana and alcohol and pills morning, noon, and night to function at work and school. That's what he's taught. He's taught that he don't really have to work out to be fit, take more pills to build his body up. He's taught not to be able to survive in case of emergency, so he don't know how to cook. He don't know how to clean. That's what he's taught. Men is taught many things to be less than who they are. All the, in my opinion, the wrong things. This is why men in society overall is very weak. They're not built to fight and strive to be better. As soon as things get tough, they start crying and figuring they gotta pop some pills and smoke something and drink something. This is how we conditioned. And but look, if you take away the marijuana and the alcohol and the popping of the pills and tell men go out and strive without those things on the daily business, there'd be chaos in the cities. Literally. Men be deleting themselves. They be so triggered because men need their fixes morning, noon, and night. We conditioned that we need these things. If you didn't have your morning coffee, you'll go berserk. We taught these things. If you didn't have your cell phone, there might be a murder, death, kill. This is how men is being conditioned within society. All the wrong things. We're not conditioned to adjust, to build, to be proactive, to be problem solvers. Not only within ourselves, but within our family, we can't even be problem solvers. We asking the woman. We asking children. We asking everyone else, but we no longer are built to be problem solvers. We taught to be weak. And it has as many factors. I'll talk about that on a different show. But if you listen to previous shows, I give you the reasons. But we won't go there. But modern men is not taught to have morals and standards. We don't even have character. The basic things. If I say I'm gonna meet you at 8 o'clock, I come at 12 midnight. No excuses. I just come at 12 midnight. And when I go to the man is asking me, hey, why are you so late? Why are you 4 hours late? I've been standing here for 4 hours. I suck my teeth. I just had things to do. No excuses, no nothing. That's a character flaw. Not caring about another man's time. Time means everything. Time is greater than money. I talked about this. Because you can always get money, but you can't get back time. And see, men, great men understand this. Great men strive to be punctual to their fellow man. Nobody's perfect. Things happen. Okay, so let's get that out the way. But overall, mean what you say. And if you can't do it, then let that man know. Hey, I can't make it. I can't come through. I'm sorry. That's it. Man, the next man might get mad, but you let that man know that I cannot achieve that today. That's what we should be building. These are the basics. The basics of being a good man to become a better man. Condition yourself. Strive every day and say, listen, I'm going to achieve this today. You might not always hit the mark, but start with the basics. And then as you grow, you can become a better man. A good man, then a better man, then a great man. This is where it starts. And it should start in childhood. Young boys doing the basics. But again, we're not taught that. Men, let's backtrack. Boys is taught nowadays to twerk. Watching their mother twerk. So then they shaking their behinds. This is what we conditioned to do. And I don't want to, and I'm not, I know it just seems like it's talking about women and stuff like that in this moment, in this teachable moment, but really it's just an example I needed to talk about. But boys is not being taught to be men. Because I got to call it what it is. We're not surrounded by real men. And society don't want that. Society is very comfortable for boys to be surrounded by a whole bunch of women and worshiping their women or their women folks all day. That's society is taught that because society is governed by weak men. So weak men do not want strong men around them. They want to keep on perpetuating weakness. So this society is governed by weak men and feministic women. And that is within society, European nations, US, Canada, and all throughout Europe. But I would say except Russia. I don't think Russia. Don't think that. For some strange reason. What I hear from other people from Europe, just the name of them. I know there's other countries that men stand on their square, but Russia comes to mind. You gotta give some of these countries credit how they stand on masculinity. Boys, they teach boys to be men, not weak men. This is why here in the US of A and North America in general, omitting Mexico, of course, men are weak. This is supposed to be one of the greatest countries in the world, on the planet Earth. But you have more weak men. How that it just doesn't make sense. Where the United States and Canada is supposed to be one of the top countries on the face of this planet Earth. I was going to say the stinking planet Earth. But the majority of men are weak. How does that work? With all of the technology and the books and all the connections for men to be mentally, physically strong men within the society, but they are the weakest mentally. How that work? And if you don't think men are weak-minded within society, look how they run their households. That should tell you everything. Look how they govern themselves. That should tell you everything. Look what's promoted in society. That should tell you everything. Mental illness of society is rampant within men. That should tell you everything. Men's habits, degenerate habits, ungodly habits. That's my word, ungodly, because everybody uses degenerate. I just want to change up. Ungodly habits. Look at what the ungodly habits of men. That tells you everything. Am I wrong? Am I lying? What makes a man a legend? So this is why I'm so saddened to see, and I know you're going to get old. Everybody gets old, and they're going to pass to the next level one day. And it is what it is. But it's just still sad to see these great men pass on, because they have left such an impact within the society as a whole, waking up hundreds and thousands of people, or people within their community, or their loved ones, or impacted an individual, one or two individuals, to make those men better men. It's sad to see them go. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Out with the old, in with the new. It's part of the cycles of life. But it's still sad. It's sad to see them go. You know, peace and blessings to Jim Brown and his family. And, you know, R.I.P. Have a safe journey, Mr. Brown, in the bosom of the Most High. We all will get there, or some of us will. Some of us might go the other way. Hopefully I can be in the bosom of the Most High. But I'm not cocky with it, because, you know, I've done a lot of ungodly things, but I'm trying to really leave an impact within society. And the first thing is to better yourself first, to make yourself a better you. And I mentioned this before so many times. So a lot of people will say, oh, you think you're so perfect, Mr. Greatness. No. So why do you call yourself greatness? Because I feel I am great. That sounds kind of pompous, don't you think? Perception, you can think that, but I feel a certain way, and nobody can make me change my mind on that. I know what I have contribute within myself, and still adding on. I know I come from a lineage of greatness. That's why. So if I'm coming from a lineage of greatness, well, I must be great. I am great. I know I'm great. I feel it from the bottom of my big toe that I'm great. You sound very cocky. Well, your mammy is cocky. How about that? Okay, stop. All right, I'm on one. Just a joke, okay? Jokey joke, okay? But I'm just having fun with it. But in conclusion, men, what are you going to do? How are you becoming a better you? And if you haven't started, when you going to start? I say now, after you hear this. Read. You want to know how to be great? How to leave a mark? Read, young man, old man. Read books that will build your mind. Reading is fun and is mental. I have a pile of books that I'm looking at now. Always reading. I used to read even more when I had a lot of time, but I read as I'm moving around. Read books that will better you, make you a better you. Be around men, strong men, that is going to make you strong mentally, spiritually, and physically. Surround yourself with those people. Stay away from negative men that is not doing anything. People in general, but this is designated for men. Family, friends, or foe could be toxic. So surround yourself with men that will help you strive to be better, push you to be financially fit, physically fit, economically fit, mentally fit, physically fit, socially fit. These things are important to be a well-rounded man, to leave a mark in society, to become great. And if you can't, not all people become great, to be a better man. At least from a good man to a better man. That is your key. Seek and you shall find. Remember, seek and you shall find. R.I.P. Once again, the great Jim Brown. Thank you for everything. And the guys, subscribe to the Greatness 19 channel on YouTube. Like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that. Also, subscribe to Mr. Evolution of London. And finally, also subscribe to the Oracle 19 podcast on the platforms that I mentioned. iHeartRadio, if you have that. Spotify, Google, Apple, Amazon. Let's get things cracking. Subscribe. Listen to the programs. You right or wrong, up and down, you're not going to agree with everything. I get it. But it's my perspective on things. Understand, I'm sure certain things you can apply in your daily life. Pass the information worldwide. I like to get this thing cracking. Keep on striving. Be a better you. Thank you for listening.
Limousine.